We are live. What is happening, everybody?
What is happening? I'm joined here today. I have to read it out here because I don't know who you are. Shaun,
It's okay.
who is a SaaS recruiter. He's also Nolan's dad, and he possibly might be Batman. Uh,
No.
my favorite ad of all time is the Snickers ad. Do you remember that? When the guy got
Oh
concussed.
yeah. When he gets knocked unconscious, right? And he's like, "Who are you?" I'm Batman.
Uh,
Yes.
are you old enough to remember that? What age are you?
I'm 33. No, 34. Shit, I'm 30. I'm 34.
You're old, hey? Good hair though for a 34-year-old man, hey?
Uh, Thank you.
Is
Thank
it
you. I
on
mean,
yourself?
the front profile is okay, but when you look around the other side, that's why I only do these interviews
Okay.
straight. You know what I mean? It's all
Um,
about the angles.
I'm kind of disappointed you're not wearing your wedding suit like you have in your LinkedIn profile. I was expecting you to become a bit more formally dressed. I made an exception. I put on a shirt for you today.
Yeah, you know what? I had it on. I did have the wedding tux on, but I'm like, you know what?
So
It's
tell me, are you
quarantine. It's
ready to give
quarantine. We
ready
got
to
to be
give Nolan
comfortable.
away?
What happened?
Are you ready to give Nolan away to the neighbors? Have you been locked in isolation for
Man, yeah, I mean, we're here in New York. I mean, I'm not in the belly of the beast. I'm out in Long Island, which is about 45 minutes away. But, but yeah, it's seeping out here, man. It's seeping out here, and everything's closed down, quarantine 100%. I think we're on day 40 something. And yeah, to answer your question, I absolutely am ready
it's
to
pretty
give them
cool that
away a little bit.
they've let Al Pacino be the governor though.
It is pretty. It's definitely interesting. Definitely a very interesting political climate that we're living in today. I think this entire thing was just an entire governmental failure on all aspects of it. It was just a disaster.
Is
So,
that is that a nice glass of disinfectant you have in the background?
which one? Yeah, probably. Disinfectant got everything over here, man. Got bleach. My
You
kid
got
was
some
running around with bleach yesterday. I'm like,
you got some
hey, if that's what it's coming down to, then the hell with it, man. I'm down to try anything.
Okay. So, Shaun, you're on the enemy side, my friend. You're an internal recruiter.
I am.
Okay. Tell me,
I am
tell me. How many calls do you get off agency recruiters?
every day.
How
Like
many?
I'm not even trying to exaggerate. I mean, it's literally every day. I mean, the other day I got an email from a recruiter, pretty well known in what I do in the software sales space, and I'm first degree connection with him. And keep in mind, never spoke to this guy. Like maybe once or twice, a couple months ago, like a hey, nice to meet you type of deal. And yeah, sends me this whole long thing about like my family, and I'm hoping that you're well. I'm like, dude, you don't know anything really about me and my family. And then tried to pitch me business, right? Like I don't know. I get at least 3 of those a day. Like no exaggeration.
Do you ever have any fun with it?
No, no, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the dick. I just don't want to
Alright.
play that way. Depending on how bad the message is or like how just horrible it might be,
Hmm.
maybe I'll say something snarky or sarcastic. I actually had someone else in the beginning of the corona actually shit, I have it screenshotted. That reached out to me and just said like something along the lines of like, "Hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure if you were impacted by coronavirus, but what are your hiring needs right now? We have consultants ready to go." Just like that. And keep in mind, we had just furloughed basically like 3 or 4 people. A 23-year-old person at my company, my old company when this first started, died in Seattle. So emotions were high. Emotions were really high. And this guy was just completely read the room wrong. I bit my tongue. I didn't even answer him, but yeah, depending on how it is.
Funny, eh? I took a bit of a pause for a couple of weeks. I just did media, Um, and I just reached out to
Yeah.
clients and said, "Hey, you still in business? You still alive? I hope your business is going better than mine. Hit me up on the other side of this." And I got a kind of funny response. Yeah, it's shit. Okay,
It,
good.
it, it is. It's hard, man.
And I'm
It's really hard.
like, whenever you get a positive message, let's do a podcast. Until then, keep safe. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's really all that people could do right now. I
Yeah,
mean, and listen, I'm somebody, I value agency partners. I do because I've worked with plenty of recruiters in the past, and I do hold really good relationships with people in my niche that I do work with, I have worked with in the past. And those are the people that I'm going to be reaching out to if I do need help. But right now, like everything is just so slow all over the place. So
yeah.
I don't want to be that guy that's taking food off of people's plates. I don't want to be that person that's constantly like,
It's
hey,
not the,
keeping my guard up.
it's not your plate though. It's not their plate though. That's the
Yeah, no, that's true.
it's nobody's plate in these times,
Yeah,
unless it's an invoice or a retainer
exactly.
or something like that.
True. No, that's very true. It's a very valid point.
Um, so you do software sales. Do you,
Yeah.
what does that look like in terms of like your role?
So yeah, I mean, I basically recruit high level enterprise sales executives, client partners, account managers, upsellers. People that are just revenue generating. For
Within
SaaS
which
companies.
like, sector?
Uh, you mean vertical?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be right now working with this company called Uncork, and they're really focused on like financial services. But I worked for companies in the past where these folks are selling into large retailers,
Yeah.
their airlines, all over the place. So whatever the company is verticalized in, I've recruited people for.
Um, I dipped my toes in software sales. I literally dipped it in, and then I was like, oh wow, there's 1,000 verticals within this. And then I was like, oh,
So
I'll only
many.
do this if I can hire somebody to focus on it. Um, do people transition from one SaaS product to the next easy, or is there value in their network as
It's a
opposed to?
really good question. It depends on a lot of different factors from what I've seen, right? So if you're taking somebody that, let's say they're an automation software,
Hmm.
right? They're automation software, and then you want them to go, let's say they're automation software, but their clients they're selling into retail verticals or telco verticals, right? Something along those lines. And then, you try to take them and put them into like a financial services sale for like a completely different type of software.
Yeah.
You better have a hell of an enablement team. You better have a hell of a training program, because it's just not the same. It's like you're dealing with completely different customer base, a different mindset, right? So one of the things that I always look for when I'm talking to salespeople is the ability to tell a story, not only tell a story to your target audience, but also be able to tell a story to different sectors of the business, right? Because let's say if I'm selling into automation software, you're not just selling it to, let's say, marketing. You're not selling it to just finance or whatever it might be. You're selling it to IT. You have to come up with a reason as a compelling story of, hey, how is this going to sell IT? How is this going to help the CFO? What problems are you going to be able to generate or relieve throughout the organization, right? So I guess that's a really long-winded answer of saying, it's really hard to sell into something that you haven't been selling into before.
Even within fintech, there's like, I looked, like, what do you call those Google images? Like it shows you like it's a graph of all the different niches within it. There's a name for it.
Oh yeah, they're just
Okay, neither of us are very bright. We're both recruiters, so we probably should
yeah. I don't know what the hell they're
have
called.
that off the top of the head. But I think there was 16 to 20 different niches within that fintech vertical. Do people move within
Yeah,
fintech vertical from like payment processing to uh, trading
I'm
platforms?
sure they. Yeah, I think that's definitely an easier transition for sure.
But it's not a
Um,
thing.
you know, I haven't been working primarily with a lot of fintech companies. I
Yeah.
haven't. So this is the first company that I would kind of say they're more insurance tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're open to talking to people that are in different sectors within finance, or they have some sort of experience selling into a financial vertical, like a bank or, insurance type of company. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely an easier transition than taking people from, like, let's say, infrastructure or cybersecurity type of sale, right? Selling
Yeah.
primarily into like an IT.
And you know, when you say you're open, I feel like I'm doing
Yep.
a meeting here, but this is the type of stuff that recruiters should ask you. So when you
Yeah, no, I love it, man. This is great.
when you say you're open to talking to those people, for
Yep.
somebody to get a fee out of it, they need to be right on your sweet spot, though, right?
100%.
That's
100%.
where a lot of
Right.
recruiters go wrong on that.
So
They'll,
many.
they'll not
So
they'll be like, I'll not understand that this is way over here instead of
th-
just this.
yes.
So the
Yes.
value proposition is the customer base, the process, all the legacy relationships, and if it's a straight fix, okay, we'll hand you cash because we can predict that we're going to make money quicker on the upswing on them.
100%. 100%. And that's one of my biggest frustrations sometimes, is when I get resumes that, like, like you said, if we're going to be paying a fee, if we're going to be paying, like, these guys are upwards of 300K all in, right? So on the base, like 150, sometimes even 160, 175, if we really need somebody, or you really want a big game hunter, we'll go. I've made offers out 200 before, right? That's a lot of money. And if, someone that you're sending us is not what we ordered, not what the customer wants, man, like, it's going to be really hard for us to write that check to you guys. It
Mm.
just is. Um, you always want to have that mindset as a recruiter to be like, listen, we want to give as many people an opportunity as we can, but at that level, when we're paying that type of premium, like, our risk really should be little to none at that point, upwards of 50, 60 grand sometimes. And depending on how some of these contracts are, I mean, you pay retainers to these agencies too. I mean, that's why I'm very selective about who
Yeah.
I work with. Like, I don't think there's ever been a time where someone's reached out to me and been like, hey, Shaun, can I just have your business? Like, and I've been, okay, sure, we're working on these racks. Like, no, like, I have my go-to 4 or 5 guys that I know I've built relationships with, whether it's via LinkedIn or personal networks, or, maybe I walked into a situation where I just started at the company and they already had success placing candidates there, and I kept that relationship going. But very rarely has anyone, actually never has anyone, just like hit me up and be like, hey, can I work in this role? And I was like, oh, absolutely. Here you go. Here you go. Here's your JD. Go at it.
Yeah. You've managed to build your own personal brand on LinkedIn, probably
Yep.
quite an early adopter. If you look at like some of your articles, like you've got thousands of likes and stuff, which is
Mm.
really, really unusual. What stage of your career did you realize that was going to be really important, and how did you go about it?
Oh man. I don't know. Like, one day I just I just started posting stuff. It doesn't really make sense how it started. But I got a reaction out of something. I basically just, like, asked a question.
Yeah,
Asked a question, and there was a lot of engagement. Asked another question, talked about certain things that were kind of bugging me or whatnot. And it just kind of snowballed into just this whatever the hell number it's up to now.
being a working for myself, I can be as bombastic as I want, but you're employed, so how?
Very hard line.
Yeah,
Very hard line. Very, 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 very hard line. And that's something I actually struggle with internally every single day before
yeah,
I hit any single button, before I do anything. If you look at my posts from when I had my own company, when I was
you,
consulting,
you're way out.
like, go in the back, look in the, scroll down,
Yeah.
you'll see that there's a
I'd much prefer to
totally
have a beer with that lad rather than you. But
right.
you know,
Dude, and you're 100% right. How do you think that the follow, like, the whatever you want to call it, because I hate calling it a following because it makes it sound like a cult leader,
yeah,
right? When you have all of that engagement or whatever it is, that how do you think it got there? It
yeah,
didn't get there by me giving pro tips on recruiting strategies. It just didn't. I used to make videos about, spoofing recruiting. I used to make all of these different types of videos and say what, I told the truth a lot of the time,
yeah,
right? Just about, like, hey, listen, I'd rather be the person that you hate for telling you the truth than be one of these people that's going to blow smoke, write like Bridget style posts and have an engagement pod, right?
What,
And just be loved by
when,
everybody.
when are companies going to catch up with that? Actually, your engagement on their brand, eh, I know there's a fine line, but
Yep.
like it's not like you're cursing and being like offensive, or like you're like
100%. And I think
creating
companies,
value for them instead of
yep.
paying 60 grand to all these agencies. Is if they let you go nuts, uh like, and all the engagement you're getting, it's gonna help build the brand. And
It absolutely will. Like it absolutely would. And I'm not saying that in a way that, you know, I'm not trying to come off as just pompous. Not just me, anybody. Like you have like anyone. Like look at people. There was a woman at Amazon. I think like she had hundreds of thousands of followers, and
oh
like they
is
were
this, I hate
who?
her stuff so much. If this is the same woman, oh my god,
I
that
think so. I think so.
this is the I charge 5% or whatever it was. That,
Oh no. Well, her too. No, 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 no,
okay,
no, no,
listen,
no. There's
stop.
another one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But she's actually really cool. I'm not going like whatever. We're not going to get into that. We can cut
All
this
right.
part.
Okay.
We can cut this
We're not
part.
hammering
Cut,
your name.
cut, cut. No, but there was another woman that worked for Amazon, and she was she was a cheerleader. You know what I mean? Like rah rah rah. She was great. Hundreds of thousands of followers. Like made me Carpiak and some of these other people look like we have like nothing, right?
Yeah.
And Amazon pulled her into a room like, you're done. Like stop. Like what are you doing? And listen, a company like Amazon doesn't need that, right? Doesn't need somebody, but the way I always look at it is like lead generation. Just because I'm putting myself out there, we're putting ourselves out there, right? And like people could comment, those are warm leads. Like when I talk about like content, when I talk about not as much recruiting, because I get a lot of like agency recruiters that engage with content, which is perfect. Like we want to start conversations. But like when I talk about different things like content, the other day I connected with 3 VPs of sales, because in sales, if you look at right now, a lot of these sales leaders are trying to build up their brands right now. They're trying to build up, you know, content and put that out there. 3 of them connected with me, and you know, like if I was an agency guy, it's 3 leads that engaged me.
Yeah.
Right. So
What can you do to, like, do you think the future of talent acquisition has a, do you think media has a big role to play in that? And
I do. Yeah.
what do you visualize that as?
I mean, listen, not everyone in the world is going to be able to do what Joe Mullings is doing, right? Like that's just not, you know, actually, I mean, no, these companies have money like that. I mean, you could do what Joe's doing. He's a visionary. He's taking the entire industry and turning it on its head, which is great. I do think that it does come with letting your recruiters or letting your brands or your representatives of the brand have a personality, right? I mean, when you look at talent branding and you look at all these company brandings, it's the same shit, right? It's the
It's going to be
same
your
stuff.
job to go to that funny guy that you know in sales and go, hey, we're going to do this skit, or we're going to do this this interview, or we're going to document something like that, and then get that,
Yes.
or like that's what I
Look at the biggest brands in the world, right? Look at the biggest brands in the world right now.
yeah.
You got like look at Dollar Shave Club. Look what they did. They came out of nowhere, right? I mean, they had one kind of really funny, humorous type of infomercial or YouTube video, skyrocketed out of nowhere, right? And
Sponsored Rogan's podcast.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of what you're trying to do, you have to have a personality. That's just the way I look at it. I
So
mean,
when do you think companies are going to realize that and start doing that as part of their talent acquisition strategy?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I just don't. I think there are way too many conservative mindsets within media, within the TA HR umbrella. Like I just do. it's about, really getting, I think it's more about getting the CMOs or like the marketing folks to kind of push towards that, right? To kind of maybe help us out reaching those TA leaders or
Yeah.
just to talk about the importance of the brand. Because listen, when you think about it, it's the same crap on every single video, every single talent engagement video. It's like that slow mantra. It's interviewing people that when you look up on LinkedIn, they're not even at the company anymore. Like, it's old, it's played out. People don't want it. They want real shit. They want to know like what salary they're going to make. They want to know like what is going on in the company. They want to know, why am I going to come and work for you? Not just
They
like,
also want to know what the personality is of the person. So
yes,
they want to be able to have a look at it and go, is he all right? One of the things we did is we flew to New York and we flew to LA, and we documented our journey, and we did a load of videos with our clients there, where I interviewed guys on their story, what was like to move over,
yep,
we're targeting younger versions of them to headhunt for them.
of course,
And our sales just went through the roof from it. And
yeah,
it was the best move we ever made.
yeah.
No,
That's what
the
people
Saudi
want.
president won't let anybody else in the country, so I have to figure out a new way of doing business now. So
Hey man, and just listen to all the other influencers, man. Just pivot, bro. Just pivot. That's all you gotta do. Just pivot a little bit.
tell you what, right? Pivoting works,
It
but
does.
there's a lot
100%.
to be said for brand equity and for consistency in your own brand. Yeah,
Yep.
pivoting works if you can hire somebody and direct their brand towards it. It's very dangerous to pivot into something and then it doesn't work, and then maybe you're the guy that used to do that but does that, and maybe you're going to do that too. There's
I
a
am
fine
horrified of
line,
that. I'm absolutely horrified of that. I mean, because there's been plenty of times where like I've thought about pivoting into like, I enjoy the content side of things. Really, really do. I enjoy that. I think that there could be some value in maybe doing some content writing or helping out recruiters or whoever else, just like with personal brand stuff. That's stuff I love doing. But if I fall flat on my face, especially during right now, what am I going to do? Put it on my profile that like I help recruiters brand themselves, and then like 3 months later, be like, okay, I want to be a recruiter again. People are like, what are you doing, guy? Like, what is your, like, who are you? Like,
there's money in helping recruiters brand themselves, but the problem is recruitment firms are very tight with money. So to
oh
get money
yeah,
out of them for something that doesn't make them money in the instant is very
yep.
hard. Trust me, this is somebody who's trying to get invoices paid from recruitment
Oh,
firms right now.
100%. 100%, man. Yeah, I'm just like I was just brainstorming that. Like, that wasn't really like just like a targeted audience. But
Tell me,
yeah,
what's the stuff you've been doing with Adam Posner? Is it like, because you guys invited me on the other week, I had a blast. And
yeah, yeah.
what's the show that you guys are doing?
No, I just co-host with him sometimes, man. Like, he lives down the street from me. Like, he lives maybe yeah, like literally, he lives maybe not literally down the street, but maybe about 15 minutes away from me. So like, we're both Long Island guys. I mean, we're actual friends outside of just LinkedIn. And whenever he does so many of these podcasts, I guess just to spice it up, like he'll shoot me a text in the morning and be like, yeah, I got this guy on, seems interesting, you want to hop on? Yeah, all right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
we're not really doing like a actual like show
Yeah,
together. But yeah, just jump on with him and wing it.
cool, man. Perhaps I could get you on to do mine, eh? You could
Yeah,
we could do something on talent acquisition in the States.
got it.
It's a world I don't know, so I can ask the stupid questions, and you can fill it in with them and make me look credible.
Dude, you got it, man. Whenever you need it, man. Absolutely.
um,
I say man too much. I have to stop doing that.
what
I use too many filler words. Too
do
many
you,
filler words.
is there some kind of an app or something that you should be using to fix that? There used to be an app for everything.
There should be like a dog collar, right? So whenever I use one of those words, just
I should have that
zaps.
for all my guests, right? Just put that on.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Put the zap collar on. You'll yeah. I'm sure there would definitely be no liabilities though. None.
So you're in insurance tech at the moment. SaaS within InsurTech. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can
I'm
imagine.
very new to it. I'm very new to
Yeah.
it. I'm going to put out there.
What, like, are you in a holding pattern now? Are you starting? Is your company, because company's not just based in New York, right? It's not just selling to New York. And
Yeah.
insurance needs to be continual. Are
Yep.
are you starting to onboard people remotely? Is it just like, let's hold until we get over this? Like, what's it look like?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're interviewing. I mean, because the company that I'm working with right now, I mean, we just got a huge round of funding right before Corona hit. So,
I apologize for all the recruiters who are going to spec you resumes of
I
after.
know, I know, I know. No, but yeah, I'm very grateful that I was able to land a contract. And if it's anything I've learned from this LinkedIn posting stuff,
Yeah.
it's networking with people. It actually paid off in real
So
life.
what's it been like trying to hire and onboard guys like
It's
like remotely? You know, in what was a handshake business.
No, I mean, I haven't gotten that far yet. I mean,
Okay.
I've only been here for about maybe 3 weeks. And at this point, your average time to fill on an enterprise sales guy or woman is, I think, 40 to 50 days. So I've got people interviewing and in rounds, but like in terms of hiring, it's going to be really kind of hard. And we actually have a big meeting about that next, I think on Thursday, to kind of figure out, hey, if we all want to pull the trigger, are we really going to be making offers to people without meeting them? Because in sales, man, someone could sound great over the phone. They can present very well on Skype or Zoom or whatnot. But then in person, there could be that thing you didn't pick up on,
You believe that?
right? I, yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I do. I've hired a lot of these folks in my day, and there's
Yeah.
been a couple of people that, over Skype, they met the hiring managers over teleconference, over Zoom. Then they come into the office, no energy. They're just very dry. They're just not what you expect, and they're not what you would expect for, in an enterprise, a sales hunter at that level.
That's interesting.
Um,
So it's
and listen, everyone has different ways of selling, right? But I'm not saying that people that are that way or have a little bit lesser of an energy aren't good sellers or can't sell. What
yeah.
I'm saying is, just for what we were looking for at that time, it was just a little surprising to see the lack of, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, that's interesting. So energy is the key piece to take from that.
It
So
depends on the company, man. Like, it depends. Like, it could be, so many different aspects. It really is what the hiring manager wants. I mean, I would use the term executive presence is a big thing now.
so let me just ask you a question and revert it to. I, I always think that the SaaS model in America of having um, distributed teams throughout the nation. So you have like key salespeople in different regions.
Yeah.
Why are we not doing that in agency recruitment? Why are we bunging them all in the one?
Don't know.
Like, if it works in one industry, why doesn't it work in ours?
I have no idea. And I've thought
That's
of
the
that a
problem as
million
well.
times. I have no idea why no one
Like,
implements it.
this is going to change it, I think.
It has to. I mean, this is going to change a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as productivity is going up through the roof. I think right now, while we're trying to get through the belly of the beast, or the initial influx of the virus, I mean, a lot of people like us were stuck home with the kids and stuff, right? But once it goes back, once daycares kind of open up again, and you could have support, and you can find your nanny to come watch the kids, right? I think working from home is definitely going to be something that companies are going to be more open to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Shaun, that's us for today. Pretty good to chat with you.
Cool.
Get to
Awesome,
know you a
man.
bit better. I'm going to take you up on that and get you on as a co-host. And
Anytime.
let's figure out some people we can interview, because a large part of what I'm doing is talking to leaders about how you're adjusting to COVID-19. But once that's done, I'd like to get another theme under the belt. So let's put our heads together.
100%. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks very much.
All right, man. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.